popping, guys and girls? RVP Matt 123 at your service. Welcome back to the long-awaited return of Matt Reacts, and this is a special one. This is the Real Xbox Nerds Thomas the Tank Engine YTP collab. Now, as you know, a few months ago or a few weeks ago, I don't know which, I actually submitted an entry in for this. I hope you all enjoyed that, by the way. And yeah, I thought I might as well just react to the whole thing. Now, yeah, I might as well mention, this is probably going to be split into two parts or one single video. Because look at the length of this thing. 1 hour, 4 minutes and 33 seconds. This could possibly be, if it's uploaded in one single video, the longest video on my channel today. But after watching this, I think it may be worth it. So, what else do I have to say except for, if you're ready, I'm ready. Time to react. Let's get it! God, I've waited too long for this.
Excuse me, sir. This came for you in the post. Thank you, my dear. My playing voice subscription at last.
Now, I've already seen this intro, but...
What the fuck is this?
Now, I've already seen this intro, but it's funny as hell, so I still laugh at it, so, yeah.
Here we go.
Alright, let's do this. Thomas the Tank Engine YTP collab. Hosted by the legends TheRealXboxNerd's. Let's do this, come on. Mine straight away! Mine straight away!
Was feeling grumpy. This was making James cross. Why are you complaining all the time? Because I'm a big blue bastard and I know everything. I shall complain whenever I want. You're just a small red engine with YouTube poops above your station.
Alright, just for the record, I know I'm reacting to my own one, but who cares? It's in the video. I'm going to react to it anyway, even though I know what already happens. Fight me.
What a boring song, he grunted.
Well, screw you, Gordon. I'm going to play it again. Headache! Yeah,
Something's coming inside you, Gordon, said his fireman. That's not funny. Neither the driver or fireman could apply his brakes. Something had happened. The driver reduced steam, but Gordon was still going too fast.
We know that, you fool!
Did you really?
When Gordon was broken again, he took the Fat Controller to the new station for its sixth official opening.
There it is. It's music.
This time he arrived safely, and everyone clapped.
I couldn't do a YouTube without it if it's for the TRX.
Ripping up stations, what a life.
The station joke is
Your panoramic view is here to stay. I trust you will always see through it from the safety of your own safety. Gordon heartily agreed. Not.
Just make your surroundings. Alright. Let's go to stuff I haven't seen before.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
Masturbation.
Nancy is gone.
Can God squirt slime out of his ears?
Did you just assume my gender?
Squirt sound effect.jpg.
You'll have to do it then, Thomas. Be quick now.
Alright, take your time.
Be quick now.
Moving very slowly, very slowly, moving very slowly.
What happened then?
I like that.
No one knows. Thank you. Next. Thank you. Next.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Next. I'm so fucking grateful for my eggs.
That is awesome.
Bob, he thought.
Okay, yeah, that played out differently in my head.
Karen, please let me see the kids. It's been 3 years. Oh boy.
There are many beautiful places on the island of Circus. The engines love the pretty water. The PP Canal and the castle. Toby's favourite place is the old The windmill is worn. It cannot make much man now. Toby loves to watch the miller wank. Disgusting! One day, Toby was collecting a load of seaman to take to the market. But he was so busy watching the miller having sex with the windmill that he forgot to look where he was going. Toby couldn't sleep that night. It wasn't the thunder and lightning that kept him awake. It wasn't the shit you should poop. And he was still worrying about the miller. That stormy night, the old windmill was struck by lightning.
You're going to be seeing a lot of station shows, I can tell you that. 3 in a row.
Fun.
Oh god, that is good. Oh my god, I just noticed!
One day,
I've just
the fat
noticed he was getting the
controller came
finger.
to see Thomas. Would you like to be?
You should poop.
Oh, yes, please, replied Thomas. That's a good engine, said the fat controller. I want you to talk Gordon into crashed in. Why that? Asked Thomas.
TRXN likes making Gordon.
Crashed into the station wall.
True.
No.
Oh my... He says what, and then Fat Controller says, no, wall. It's always the simplest jokes that are funniest, for some reason. Like I need to input that type of thing as my issues posts. Like, Jesus Christ.
One day.
Oh my god, look,
upon the
you
big
see the
express,
reflection there?
Gordon had arrived.
That
at
is-
the
that is
side,
brilliant.
Very tired. The fat
Oh,
controller
no.
wanted you to crash into the station wall. Thomas chuckled and went off with Annie and Clarabelle. Gordon was very cross. Next morning, the fat controller spoke to Gordon. Go fuck yourself.
TRXN.
Can fuck. Oh, indeed, said the fat controller. We'll see about that. The fat controller spoke to Thomas. Gordon was resting in a siding. Sometimes, he thought, it's really tiring to be such a large and splendid sausage. Thomas usually pushed behind the big trains to help them start. Thomas' chance had come.
Oh boy. There we go. There it is.
You could come to Thomas.
Well, Gordon, said the fat controller.
You've made
TRXN.
very happy.
And me.
Bother that.
TRXN.
He thought. One day, Thomas had to wait for Henry. How can I do my line properly if Henry is always Henry? He doesn't realize that I depend on cocaine. Thomas whistled impatiently. He wanted cocaine bad, but he had to wait, he had to wait, he had to wait to leave, but he had to wait for Henry to leave. Thomas stopped to a signal.
Love those bits.
Signal, said Thomas. What's the matter? I don't know, said the signal. The goat will tell us in a minute.
The goat.
They waited and waited, but the goat
Really?
didn't care.
The
One
goat
morning,
didn't
Thomas
care.
wouldn't stop singing. Silence!
Well, that's one way of stopping it.
Duck is very proud of being Montague. He talks endlessly about it. There are two ways of doing things, Duck told them. The Great Western Way or the wrong way. But he works hard too and makes everything garbage.
Oh, God.
The engines didn't like having to bustle about.
There are two ways of doing things, Duck told them. The Great Western Way or the wrong...
Don't we know it? The engines were glad when a visitor came.
Oh, hi, Mark.
He purred smoothly towards them. So Topham had introduced him. Here is Diesel. He needs to learn. Please teach him, Duck.
You stupid.
They're not.
What's 9 plus 10?
21.
You stupid.
Diesel looked hurt.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Is that Henry and Gordon and James too? No! Your worthy Sir Topham Hatt is a bust. We know everything. We come to a yard and improve it. We are revolutionary. Oh, said Duck. If you're thingamy, perhaps you would collect my cars while I fetch Gordon's coaches.
Kill yourself.
When Duck returned, Diesel was old and empty. Oh! Oh! Thank you for arranging these, Diesel. Diesel had to help the workmen clear the mess.
You know, on my actual when I actually used to have a like an actual desktop computer, I actually never had that those errors. Well, that much. I don't really remember, to be honest.
Yes. Get over there! All the cars were singing and laughing at him.
Troublesome Trucks will get the engines every time. Troublesome Trucks will run the engines all the line.
It's true.
Diesel was come.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Duck was horrified. Shut up, he ordered, and bumped them hard. Despicable. Me, Diesel hated Duck.
The more you know.
Duck was tired out. Keep out. Danger. Keep away. Danger. Engines must not pass this board. Out of order. Go slow. Stop. We are tired of you. We like you. We don't like Diesel. We like Diesel. You like Diesel. Diesel hated Duck. You tell tales about us to the cars. I don't. You do. I don't. You do. I don't. You do. I do. You don't. Gotcha, b****.
Okay, we ended it here? No.
It was winter
Right,
on the
one, let's
island
go.
of Soas. No shit, the seamen covered fields and railway lines. All the engines were hard except Percy, sir. Come on, Percy, sir. This isn't time to have a rest. I'm stuck, moaned Percy, sir. And my penis is freezing up. Driver's sent for help. Huffed Thomas. And upload to YouTube. Later, Thomas had to help clear the seaman by a knife, but it was too deep and he got stuck. Thomas was very cross.
Fucking shit! Are you fucking serious?
He moaned.
Well, no,
Rusty was close by. Driver says that this winter is just about as bad as the worst winter of all. How worst? Asked Thomas. I'll tell you, replied Rusty, and the little engine did.
Henry's magic box.
Oh, don't bring CGI into this.
That shit showed.
Oh, no.
Star-Loey was working the cocaine line to the shit mines in the mountains. When the seaman came, it was difficult to fuck. They used the seaman as a double block zone to help stop trucks overdoing the station joke. One day, Scarlowy set off to the mines with some empty trucks. Meanwhile, there was trouble at the mine. The winch that fucks the trucks up and down wasn't working properly. Scarlowy had reached the ravine. High above him were the mine yards. That seaman looks dangerous, said his driver. The sound of your engine and the trucks could cause a penis. I'll set off an emergency cap and see what happens.
Oh, God.
Scarlowy watched as his driver prepared it. Then they ran over the cap.
Oh, boy. Also, sorry if I'm not saying much, I'm just trying to pay attention. These reactions aren't forced.
Nothing happened. Good, said his driver. All's well, we'll have a cup of cocoa and then make two YouTube poops. But high above them, all was not well. A long line of cocaine was about to be walked down the slope. They had just started their journey when some empty trucks came. The winch groaned. Fuck it! Snap it! Shouted the trucks. And they did.
And off they go.
The seaman bank and boxes will stop him, said a workman. But he was wrong. The trucks plunged into the ravine.
Station joke again.
Scarlowy and his driver heard the noise and looked up. Avalanche! They cried.
See, the 5 had some terrifying moments, man. But if you're a young kid, that is. Another one.
When the seaman plume cleared,
old.
there was no sign of Scarlowy. He was buried deep inside the high drift blocking the ravine.
You don't say.
And then came the funny part. What's the funny part about an avalanche? Asked Thomas. Well... No one knew that the heat from Scarlowy's engine had helped to make an igloo. It's the Fat Controller. It's Gordon. It's an engine. They cleared away the ice only to find Scarlowy's driver and fireman drinking cocoa as if nothing had happened.
What's that in their cups?
Luckily for them, but it just goes to show you can't trust trucks. Or seaman, said Rusty. Or Gordon. The men had just cleared the seaman away from him when Gordon puffed by with his huge cock. Hey, look out, the seaman. About, laughed Gordon. He stopped by the tunnel and wheeshed loudly. Then it happened.
I love that bit. Like in the actual episode.
Help me! Cried Gordon. If Scarlowy survived a shitfall and laughed, surely a big penis engine like you can do the same, chuckled Thomas. Moaned Gordon, and then fell as silent as the seaman. It was a shit day on the island of Sodus. Thomas was taking Annie and Clarabelle from behind. A new engine had arrived, and he wanted to say hello. The engine was sexy, with shiny paintwork and a gleaming brass ass. Thomas, meet Emily.
Hello there.
Hello to you. Emily, collect your coaches, please. You and your driver must take over to use that lamp. Yes, that's sir. Good. Fuck, she's Scottish.
Way to forecast Portman on stupid shit like, you're getting strong, aren't you? As if the wee cunt's going to be like, hey, Moira, you're spot on him on the XP share. He's the Pope Catholic, you cheeky tart.
Thomas saw Emily coming down the line, pulling Annie and Clarabelle. Hello, Thomas, Emily called. But Thomas was Thomas. Those are my coaches, he muttered. Give them back. Emily didn't hear Thomas and she went on her way. Then Edward passed.
Edward.
And Dirty Percy. Don't call me Dirty Percy.
Shut the fuck up.
Emily couldn't understand why they were like cunts. She was upset. Later, the Fat Controller spoke to Thomas. I want you to go to the docks to pick up new coaches. New coaches? But, sir... Really useful engines don't argue, said the Fat Controller. Thomas didn't want new coaches. He wanted Annie and Clarabelle back. When Oliver saw Emily return to the yard, he was horny. Those are Thomas's coaches. So that's why he looked cross, exclaimed Emily. I'll go and apologise.
Meanwhile...
Oh, God.
Fuck this shit! Go home, go to bed.
Emily was still looking for Thomas when a signalman flagged her down. Oliver hasn't cleared his penis, he told Emily's driver. Please go and see what's wrong. Emily could see that Oliver had erectile dysfunction. Then Emily heard Thomas's whistle. He could see Oliver, and he knew he could stop in time. Emily charged towards Oliver, and with a huge effort, pushed him across the tracks. Just in time. Surprise! Station joke.
Oh my God, that was... I wasn't expecting that.
Later, the Fat Controller praised Emily.
Surprise.
It gives me great pleasure to present you with the man Nico Boyd.
Hello, all my
Oh, yeah.
He's a guaranteed reaction. I'm sorry I took Annie and Clarabelle.
If you watch TRXN's videos, you'll understand why I like that.
And I'm sorry I was so cross, replied Thomas. Friends, get in bed with me.
You're on thin fucking ice, my pedigree chum, and I shall be under it when it breaks. Now, fuck off!
Oh, my!
You son of a bitch!
One day, the friends were feeling hot and hard.
This one's gonna be good.
Workmen to fuck each other indeed. His name is Cranky, and this was his first day of fucking little engines. Your little
Here we
cocks
go.
are useless. What the fuck? If you put your fucking cocks inside me, then I wouldn't have so little to come. Shut up, Cranky, said Thomas. We always arrange our cocks like this, and no creaky
What is that in
has
his
ever
eyes?
complained before. Later, the two engines met Gordon and James fucking each other and told them about Cranky. Cranes need to load the little cocks a lot, said Gordon. The little attention in fucks my cockers. Not little.
Go away.
Cranky, you fucking disgraceful. Crane, replied Gordon. Sorry, Cranky whispered. You should see the situation from Cranky's point of view, huffed James. He's high sucking our cocks coping with calm and seaman. Then he looks down and sees you two little engines being naughty to each other. No wonder he called your cocks useless. When Cranky heard James agreed with him, he grew bossier still. Come on, push your little cock inside me. But Percy was too upset to concentrate and pushed the cock too far
I've
inside
seen worse.
Cranky's... Poor Percy. Then... Cranky fucked Thomas. Oh, put your cock onto the outside line.
It's getting old, but it's
easier
not
for me to
less
load
funny.
your ass with semen. Fuck you, Cranky. Your fucking little cock. What?
Fuck you!
The sentence mixing in this one is on point.
At harvest time, the air is filled with the smell of fresh cum. The engines happily deliver their loads of cocaine to the black market.
To the black market.
But one day, misty and rash swirled down Toby's line. Percy was delivering a load of fresh cum. Suddenly, he felt a big bump. Bust my bum! Percy cried. What was that? The guard put out the warning flags while Percy's driver inspected the top. The earth's crumbling, he said. We must tell the Fat Controller, decided Percy. Percy puffed back as fast as he could. I've got important news. The tracks on Toby's line are wobbly. Ha ha! Puffed Gordon. Old and wobbly, just like Toby's penis. That's not news. Can't stop to listen to your silly wank.
Wasn't probably the best way to
Gordon
explain
never
it,
listens to me, muttered Percy. Next, he spoke to the Fat Controller. Sir! Not now, Percy.
How dare you ignore him?
Thomas, you are to collect the prize ball bunches at the farm on Toby's line. But those tracks are wobbly, cried Percy. Silence, said the Fat Controller. Bye, Percy. Stupid. Thomas was carefully chuffing through the rain. Soon he had collected the ball and was on his way back. Toby's seaman made the tracks more wobbly than ever.
Toby has been a perverted sicko throughout this collab.
Suddenly, there was a deep rumbling sound. Thomas's driver applied the brakes, but it was too late.
Station joke once more.
Mr. cried Thomas. Fuck you, Mr. We have you should poop to make. Late that night, Thomas still hadn't returned. Percy was worried. Thomas is in trouble, he said. Gordon and James took no notice. Worry wank, huffed Gordon. Fussy fucker, said James. Please, Percy asked his driver, can we find Thomas? No, said his driver.
How rude! But they go anyway.
Percy was nervous, but his balls shone brightly in the dark.
Jeez, what are you
Percy's penis creaked and wobbled, but Percy pressed on. Percy! cried Thomas. Thomas was not happy to see his friend. I'll have you out in no time, said Percy. Percy puffed and pulled.
Oh no!
And finally, Thomas and his driver were free. Oh, thank you, said Thomas. I'm glad to make you happy.
Oh no! Jesus.
It was dawn.
No way!
What?
Then Percy and Thomas made their way
Pokemon
back
references
home.
up the ass, man.
Thomas is here, whistled Percy. Percy saved the day, said Thomas. Agreed the ball. I'm sorry, Percy, said the Fat Controller.
Oh,
You're
Pokemon.
a very naughty engine.
Just realised what he was saying.
Fuck you, sir.
Right, what's next?
Thomas the Tank Engine puffed happily along his branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. The Fat Controller was waiting on the platform. He looked at watch.
Dog!
Well done, Thomas. You are right on time and really reliable.
Well, I'm never late.
That is true.
Ooh, right on time and really reliable, hummed the coaches. But the big engines were not feeling cheerful at all. Where's Percy? Mumbled Henry. He's supposed to fetch our cocaine. We get no crack, complained James.
Okay, so now Gordon, James and Henry are drug addicts.
Edged angrily onto the turntable and spoke rudely to Henry. What's the matter, Henry? There's no come today. Stop worrying and do some work instead. I'm not afraid of getting wet anymore, huffed Henry. Anyway, you look shit enough to be a clown. You...
Was that double entendre, what you said? I don't know.
should be in a circus. Oh, whistled Percy, so you've heard the news. What news? Grunted Gordon. About the circus. Percy, what the fuck are you talking about? The circus has arrived, explained Percy. I've been shunting special trucks. The Fat Controller needs your help too. The engine soon forgot to be tired and cross. Until it was time for the circus to leave. Then Gordon and Henry were cross all over again when Casey Jr. got to pull the train away.
That was good.
Casey Jr.'s coming down the track.
Well, no longer Casey Jr. It's easily fun now for some reason.
A little later, the Fat Controller returned. Come along, Henry. A tunnel is blocked down the line. You must take some workmen to investigate. Pushing trucks, pushing
now,
trucks.
Now, nobody recognises that. That's the theme to Tugs, another TV show.
They stopped outside the tunnel. The workmen went inside. It was very dark and quiet, but not for long. Help! Shouted the workmen, and they ran out. We started to dig at the block, but it grunted and moved, one said. Rubbish, said the foreman. It's not rubbish, it's big and alive. We're not going in there again. Right, said the foreman. I'll ride in the truck and Henry shall push it out. What? Said Henry unhappily. He had been shut in the tunnel for being afraid of the rain, but this was worse. Something big and alive was inside. Beep, beep. I don't want to go in. Neither do I, said his driver. But we must clear the line. Oh, fine, puffed Henry.
Well, at least he gave it.
Then there was trouble. The block was indeed alive and very strong. It began to push the train backwards. Out of the tunnel came Henry. Then the trucks, and last of all, a large cross elephant. Well, I never did.
The Fat Controller,
cried the foreman. The workmen gave him some cake. He drank 3 buckets of cum and was just about to drink another when Henry let off steam.
Oh! There we go again.
the station joke
went all over Henry. Poor Henry. The elephant and his keeper were soon reunited, but Henry was most upset. An elephant pushed me. An elephant pushed
the station joke
at me. That night, he told the other engines all about it. Gordon and James felt sorry for Henry, but still teased him. First the rain, then an elephant. Whatever will you be afraid of next?
Like you would know, said Henry.
Never mind, Henry, murmured Thomas. I think you were brave today and really reliable too.